Why is this Facebook ad 5 times as likely to convert than any of these? It's because it follows a proven step-by-step system for creating Facebook ads that's based on a really innovative marketing formula that's completely plug and play, and it works for absolutely anything you would want to sell because of how customizable the formula is. And in this video, I'm gonna reveal each part of this ad, showing you exactly what goes where and how you can do the same thing for your ads. So a few weeks ago, I put out another Facebook ads video and I got this comment from Michael that reads, "You are right, Facebook ads are different now, they're becoming worse." Now, luckily, I happen to speak fluent Michael, and what he really means to say here is that he hasn't gotten Facebook ads to work for him. And no, I'm not calling Michael out here. It's actually a really common story, because all of the cool tricks and the latest trends that I can teach you, none of it's gonna work if your ads themselves aren't good. So Michael, this video is for you, but also for anyone who wants to create really good Facebook ads. Let's do it. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through a really simple to master ad creation framework that's based on one of the most powerful marketing concepts that I've ever found. All you need to do is plug in a few easy specifics about what you're selling. Then together, we're going to turn those specifics into a finished ad that's primed to convert. You don't need to have any copywriting experience, and you don't even need to be particularly creative to pull it off. It's already worked out. And later on, I'm gonna show you my secret weapon for turning up the heat even more by playing into an ad type that studies have shown time and time again to convert the best. Now, to get this right, you need to understand the basic anatomy of a Facebook ad and where the attention goes in what order. First, you really have to capture eyeballs and stop people scrolling with the visuals. So this can be a single image or a video or a slideshow or carousel. And if you successfully stop them, where do they look next? At the headline. And if that's interesting enough to them, they'll go back up to read the primary text up top. And I'm gonna show you the best way to handle the visual part a little later on, but first we're gonna focus on dialing in the text. Now, the first thing to understand about selling anything on Facebook, whether it's a product, a service, or even a free lead magnet, is that people are almost never buying the thing that you're selling. They're buying the result or the feeling of what you're selling provides them. According to Harvard professor Gerald Zaltman, 95% of buying decisions are based on emotion. So what that means is, if you focus on selling the emotion behind your offer, you'll be speaking to nearly your whole audience, as opposed to just 5% of them if you only talk about the facts. The truth is, anyone can make an offer so good that people will feel stupid saying no without really changing the offer itself. It's all about how well you communicate the value behind your offer. So your job here is to figure out what people will value most about your offer, then doubling down on it. And our ad framework is mostly based on the value equation. I discovered this earlier this year in the book $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. And this concept is so simple yet so meaningful for anyone trying to sell anything, anywhere, especially on Facebook. It's made up of 4 parts. Dream outcome, what's the result that your service or product delivers? What's the perceived likelihood of achievement? In other words, how likely is someone to actually get that result? Then on the bottom line, we have time delay. How long is it gonna take to get that result? And finally, effort and sacrifice. How much exercise, studying, working, or planning do they have to put into it to get the dream outcome? And the more you can maximize these top-level items and minimize the bottom-level ones, the more valuable your offer will seem. And most marketers will just focus all their attention on the top 2 items, making bigger and bigger claims. But the really good marketers will pay just as much attention to those on the bottom, making their offers seem seamless, fast, and easy. So I want you to think these out for the offer you want to advertise on Facebook. You know, what dream outcome can someone get as a result? How likely are they to get that result? How long will it take? And how much effort do they need to put into it? And some of these values may be more appealing than others for your specific offer, and that's okay. Like maybe you offer an online course that actually takes a lot of work to complete. Or you might be a personal trainer where you can't realistically say they'll get results right away. Not every part of the equation is always going to be perfect. It's just all about emphasizing the good parts and then minimizing the bad ones. Take a look at this example for a cleaning company, right? It would make sense that the dream outcome they deliver is a sparkling clean home, right? It's not earth-shattering or life-changing, but it is a very real result. So as long as the result you provide is a compelling one, it's almost always the best thing to use for your headline. And when you go to write your headline, no need to get clever, just be super clear. A sparkling, clean home on demand. And see what I did here with that emoji. So those can definitely help your ad copy stand out if it makes sense to use one. And if you have an actual offer to make, you want to add that here. So something like on-demand house cleaning starting at $99. Then you could use this title description to give a short detail like when it's good through or if it's for new customers, whatever. Next, let's tackle the primary text. So this business may have filled out their value equation like this. Dream outcome, a sparkling clean home. Likelihood of achievement, guaranteed to be done right. Time delay, scheduled today, clean tomorrow. Effort and sacrifice, zero work on your part. Now, all they really need to do is write this out in a few sentences. And one tried and true method is to start with that desired outcome phrased as a question. Do you want this? As in, want a floor-to-ceiling sparkling clean home but don't have the time? So I also added in the main problem that's standing in the way of getting the result they want. From there, we'll just go bit by bit, trying our best to really maximize those top-level items while minimizing the lower ones. How about our experienced house cleaning pros will do the job right, guaranteed every time. It's as easy as scheduling your service today, then enjoying that clean feeling as soon as tomorrow, all with zero work on your part. Now this is already pretty strong, but there are a few more things that we can add in here to make it even stronger. So the first is a crystal clear, easy to read bullet list of your benefits. Now I'm not talking features here, but features are often the best place to start. So think of every important feature or inclusion that they'll get. So sticking with our cleaning company example, maybe they'll get things like a dedicated cleaner, included cleaning products, and online scheduling. Next, I want you to turn each of those into the real benefit behind the feature. So a dedicated cleaner isn't a benefit in itself, right? But it means that you'll get a consistent cleaning every time. That's a benefit. And included cleaning products, what that really means is you never have to worry about stocking up or running out of anything. And online scheduling makes for a seamless, effortless experience. So write out as many included features as you can think of for your offer, and then the benefit that that feature provides. So you'll take your top 3 benefit feature combos and turn them into what I call 3D benefits. So pick an emoji for each as the bullet and start by writing the benefit, then a hyphen, then explain it using the feature. For example, we have enjoy a consistent clean with a dedicated cleaner each and every time, no stocking up or running out. Our pros come prepared with all the cleaning products they need, seamless, effortless scheduling. It's all online, so you can schedule your time whenever it works for you. So we're leading with the benefit, then explaining it with the feature, not the other way around. Doing it this way is much more powerful because it speaks to the more emotional part of the brain, which is again, how buying decisions are actually made. And adding to that, let's kick this whole thing up a few notches with social proof. So this can be either in the form of showing numbers of how many people you've helped, or how many hours you've saved your customers, or even how much money you've helped them make. But the most powerful social proof is a positive review or testimonial, which in my experience definitely works best. So in fact, 72% of consumers trust online reviews and testimonials just as much as a personal recommendation from a friend, and 50% are motivated to buy based on a good review even more than by a discount or a special offer. So if you have a review that mentions any part of your value equation or any of your benefits, add it right here as a quick snippet. Emphasis here on quick though. You don't want to add in a really long testimonial that goes into every little detail and things that may or may not really matter, and also ditch any that are just too bland to be helpful. You know, great service, highly recommend is nice, but it's not going to help you much. Then just make sure you emphasize that it's a real quote with quotation marks, a name, and then top it all off with 5-star emojis. Then end it all with a strong call to action telling them exactly what to do to get the offer. You know, something like, click here to schedule your top to bottom home cleaning today. Then you'll add your link. Yes, Facebook does give you the call to action button below, but you can improve your conversion rate by giving them another place to click to. So that's the basic framework, but of course you may want to eliminate certain parts if they just aren't relevant for what you're promoting. Like if you're selling sunglasses, you probably don't need to go into the whole value equation because they don't really get much of a result other than looking super cool. In other words, if you write this all out and it sounds like you're reaching,
all right, this is sounding like shit now.
Trust your gut and scale it back. Generally speaking, the lower what you're selling costs and the more people already understand it, the shorter your ad copy can be. Okay, now that we've got the written part taken care of, we can focus on the really fun part, which is the visual component. So if you remember, this is the part people will see first, and it has a really important job to do. It's gotta be eye-catching enough in one way or another to actually stop them scrolling so they can pay attention to the rest of the ad that you've worked so hard to perfect. And you've got a few choices here. So you can use a single image, a slideshow of a few images, but if you want the perfect Facebook ad, you should probably be using video instead. And sure, sometimes a good photo can outperform a video, but countless marketers have studied this, and in almost every experiment, they do find that video just works better. So great, but what if you don't have a video and you don't know how, or you just don't want to make one? Well, that's where my little secret weapon tool comes in. So that tool is called InVideo, and they were good enough to sponsor today's video and give you guys a really great deal, which I'll tell you all about in a minute. Okay, so here we are on InVideo.io, and I've worked out that special deal with you guys, with my viewers, to get 25% off. So all you need to do is go to wesmcdowell.com/InVideo and then use the promo code WES25, and I'll leave all that stuff down in the description below. But I love InVideo because it lets you create these incredibly eye-catching and scroll-stopping video ads in minutes, even if you have no idea how to edit a video. As you can see here, they've got tons of these templates. They've actually got over 6,000, and they're completely customizable, including a bunch of them that are really based on recent trends. So you can always create something new that's gonna be really current and, you know, much more likely to convert. Basically, you can't go wrong when you use one of these templates. So to start with, I have a few basic selections selected. I have square selected because what we wanna do is we wanna take up a good portion of real estate in the feed. And I found that square kind of generally works the best for that. And then I've also checked ads just to make sure that that's all we're looking at is these ad templates. Now from there, what you could do is if you really wanted to make it easy on yourself and you didn't want to really change around too many graphics, you can type in something related to your industry. Like for our cleaning example, I could just type in cleaning, and then we've got some choices here that are all about that, meaning like we wouldn't have to change out many of these videos or anything like that. But truth be told, it's really easy to change the videos and the images out, so it'll open up a lot more choices if we were to get rid of that. Plus, I just want to show you how to be able to change all that stuff anyway. So we're just going to be going rogue here on our own. So what you really want to do is just find a basic layout that's going to serve your content the best. And I think something like this works really well because it really doesn't feel much like an ad at all, which I kind of like. I think it works best in Facebook or even Instagram to use something that feels more like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on it and then make sure we have square selected and then use template. Okay, so here is what we've got. We have the editor, but I actually like to edit a different way. I like to go to the storyboard, especially if you're just getting started. I think it's a lot easier just to kind of go one thing at a time in the storyboard editor. So, and while we're on that subject, if you ever need any help with any of this, InVideo's got you covered. Just click on this little chat icon down here and someone will be with you really quickly. They're really super helpful. I use them all the time whenever I need to ask a question or I'm just not sure where something is. So they're great. I can't recommend them highly enough. Just gonna go ahead and minimize that for now. But you can see here when you're in the storyboard editor, we have several different panels. So this is our first scene, our second scene, and so on. It goes all the way through. So I'm just gonna start with our first one. So the first thing I'm gonna show you how to do is add a new image or a new video. So this just happens to be a still image, which you can absolutely use images. And by the way, you get access with this subscription to more than 8 million included premium video and image assets that would otherwise cost a whole lot of money to get. I have a Shutterstock subscription and basically videos aren't even included in this subscription. You have to buy those a la carte and they're like 70 bucks each, but you get all that included with your InVideo subscription. For me, that's worth the price of admission alone. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch this out with a video because I just think that's gonna perform better in a video. So over here on the left panel, here's where we can access all the stock videos, all the stock images. And by the way, you can use your own images or videos. You would just drag those right here and then you can use them. But for this tutorial, I'm gonna assume you aren't coming in with video or images of your own. So let's go ahead and click on videos. And then I'm just gonna type in cleaning and see what comes up, or cleaning house. Let's do that. Cool, so we have access to all of these images now. And I'm gonna choose this one, I think. Just the colors kind of really stand out to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that and drag it right over like so, and then click on add. And then I'm just gonna click on the trash can on the house. We're gonna delete that. And one thing, so this video is like 9 seconds long. We don't need it to be that long. We need it to be more like 2 or 3 seconds. So they make it really easy to trim it. I'm just gonna click on the minus till we get to 3 seconds. And now we can edit our text. Super easy to do. Just click on it, actually double click on it, and that pops up the text editor. So over here, I'm just gonna type in, I'm just gonna base this on that desire from the value equation, if you remember that. Something like want your home to sparkle, and then we can change the font. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click on font, and you have access to all of these fonts. Let me tell you, there are thousands of them. So it can sometimes be a little intimidating to find the right one, but there's a ton to choose from. You get all the Google fonts, so you can really customize the heck out of this thing. But I've got one I wanna use called Avocado Sans Font. I think that looks pretty good. And then you can do things like you can change up the spacing. Like I feel like there's a lot of spacing between these lines. If you don't like that, you can just go ahead and click there and you can tighten that up if you want. I think that looks good. And then we can make the font size bigger if we wanted to do that. Let's see what 160 would look like. Oop, that's pretty big. And we just drag that out. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And then we can change our logo. If you've got a logo you want to use, you can just click right here. And then I've got my logo file I'm gonna use right there. Could not be any easier. So I think it's time now to go on to our next scene. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. So I'm just gonna start by replacing the image. I'm gonna go over to videos. I'm gonna type in cleaning house again. Let's see what pops up. You got this nice one of a cleaning crew. So I'm just gonna drag that right on over, then add, delete our house right here. And then of course make this 3 seconds again. Just keep hitting the minus key. Then I don't think we need this like second version of text. I'm just gonna click on that and then delete it. And then we're left with this text block. I'm gonna double click on that. I'm just gonna type in something like, and I'm gonna change our font to the same one, Avocado Sans font. And there's actually an interesting option where you can change that font across the whole video, which I'm gonna do. I think that's gonna make it easier. So I'm gonna click on all text down here. That way we don't have to do that each and every time. And it'll change our logo again. The same one we were using. And we could even move this down if we wanted to. We can kind of change the positioning of these from slide to slide. Now slide 3, we will find a new video to use. Choose this one, get rid of the first, and I'll change our text. And I'll change the spacing here. I think that's better. And I will also move that down here and change out our logo. Oh, and one last thing, let's just bring this back down to 3 seconds. Cool, and we're gonna go on to the next slide now. We'll choose a video. We'll drag this one over and click add. Get rid of this one, and we'll change our text. And we'll change our logo and bring this down to 3 seconds. And then we have another slide, but I'm gonna show you, like, we can actually delete a scene. I'm gonna delete this one. I don't think we need it. And then we'll just go right to the final slide, which is where we'll have all the contact information and the call to action and all that good stuff. So we would just change the website address right here, cleanpros.com, and we would add the phone number. We would just change that right here. And then if you wanted to have an email address or something like that, you could do that here. Or you could even change it to something like, you know, something like 20% off for new customers. If you've got any kind of a deal like that, go ahead and add it there. And then I'm just gonna change our logo one more time. And then I'm just gonna change our image. I'm gonna get another video. Let's type in clean house. Let's get a nice after shot of something that's already clean. I think that'll be a nice way to end it. Just like here, I'm gonna drag that over, click add, and then get rid of this guy and bring this down to, let's make this be a little bit longer just so it can linger on screen for a bit, maybe 7 seconds. Okay, so once we're happy with everything, let's go back up to editor. I wanna show you one more thing because this does come with music attached to it. I'm just gonna turn my sound up and then you can hear what we have and I'll show you how to change it. So it's kind of like sexy, right? I think we might want to do something a little more upbeat and peppy and just kind of more friendly. So what I'm gonna do is go over to music, and you've got, just like you have all that access to all those videos and images, you also have access to a ton of music tracks. So I might look for something playful, and then you can, you know, play each of these and preview them. I actually like this one. I like Fresh. I'm gonna go ahead and drag that right down here. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete the one we currently have. Just click on that and delete. And then if we want to hear that one, I think that's more the vibe we're going for. So I'm happy with that. Pretty slick, right? Could not be any easier to get that done. It only took us a few minutes. Now finally, when you're happy and you got it the way you want it, all you have to do is click on export. Make sure you've chosen 1080p, that's gonna make it high res for you, and then just click on export. Then you're gonna have a file that's ready to upload right into the Facebook Ads Manager. So to get your exclusive 25% off deal from InVideo, just click right here or go to wesmcdowell.com/InVideo. And if you wanna learn more video hacks and ways you can use InVideo for your marketing and your Facebook ads, head over to InVideo's channel right down here. I'll see you there.